Okie dokie. So I thought I would just do a bit of recreational coding today. It's just going to be for an hour or so hacking around trying to make a basic web renderer, just a chance to play around with NativeScript for macOS. So the actual APIs we'll be calling here are AppKit APIs, meaning proper macOS Cocoa user interface. And I should probably tweet this out before I forget. So I'll just share this. Stream here. Come. Okay, it is tweeted. Yeah, so I'm just gonna set up a quick project, basically doing a Node.js style project. And what should we call this? NativeScript web renderer version 0.0. I mean, we could do this as a not send there yet. Why not? Okay. And we're gonna need some dependencies. We'll think about that in a moment. Okay, so what kind of dependencies do we want? Well, first off, I think we want to be using bun, and I think I want prettier. I know there's all sorts of options, a bit more modern and prettier, but for the stream I don't want to be fighting with this biome plugin or learning the quirks of OX format, although nowadays if I was starting a new project I would be trying to learn about OX format. So let's just use what I'm overly familiar with. So let's start a prettier.prettier rc, and then we'll just have a file there, and we'll do a bun add prettier at latest. Okay, we've got our prettier, so now when we come back in here and save, why isn't it auto formatting? Another thing, we should git ignore this. Git ignore node modules. Okay, so why aren't you saving on format? What's the problem? Go to prettier. It's all the config. Okay. Using my config. Don't need something like enable. Why isn't that folding up? Okay, well let's go see what the standard prettier default config is. I'd hoped I could just take a guess. Alright, prettier. Let's do that. Where's my terminal? Oh, that gives us a prettier ignore. I should have read that. I'll just get that to inherit from git ignore, so no need for that. Oh yeah, I mean that should work. So why isn't it formatting on save? Let's just go into user settings, format, save. Well, it's on here and in the workspace. Let's go to here and do prettier. Enable. True. That's here. Is it just because it doesn't end in .json that it's not auto formatting that? Maybe that's all there is to it. Is it pretty.config.js? prettyrc.json. Okay. Rename. Okay, there we go. Right, cool. I'm not going crazy. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so we've got Prettier half set up. The other thing I want is going to be import sorting, which I've not tried this through Prettier before. I normally do it through ESLint. So let's just get this set up. We'll grab that pnpm add and we'll turn it into a bun. And we're going to need to add this to our Prettier config. That's happy, is it? We've got no JSON schema support. Fine, we're going to assume I've done that correctly. And then let's just take some ideas here. Defaults is good. I'll just go with defaults. Okay. So that's our dev dependencies so far. And then for dependencies, we are going to want NativeScript for macOS. Now, I struggle to remember what our package name for this is. So I'll just go in here. Okay, let's give that a go. Bun add NativeScript macOS Node API. And I assume I don't need to add any subdeps. It brings its own NativeScript Objective-C. Yep, that came along with it. Sweet. Okay, we're nearly there. And we'll need a tsconfig. So bun add -d TypeScript and at tsconfig /node. So Node.js. We'll figure it out. tsconfig for Node.js. That's for one. Does it not have an at? Yeah. Okay. Got it. That's the one we want. So we'll do it for bun add d node 24. So that's the latest active support. Okay. So far so good. We've got our tsconfig, and then we'll do a bun x tsc init -- init. There we go. Okay. And then we'll make this extend at tsconfig /node 22 or something. There we go, I found it. Okay, so I can probably reduce this to strict as true. Okay, we've got a lot of good stuff in the original base config anyway, so let's just start off with this and see how it goes. Okie dokie. So we have a basic project now, and we're going to make a new folder, source, and I will just say include source. We'll start off with index.ts, and then we'll have types is going to be index.ts for now, and then module is going to be, hang on, type is going to be module, and then the entry point module is going to be index.ts. Now this does make sense, except in a world where Node.js can directly run TypeScript files, which it can. From version 24 it can do that just fine. I think in fact from version 22.6 possibly, but yeah, we're gonna, although the package.json spec says like your main and module should point to an index.js file, let's roll with that for now and see how it goes. So I tend not to like, if I'm gonna be putting JavaScript as the entry point, I will tend to do like, I tend to write the whole module, the whole package in JavaScript, and then use tsdoc. But on this occasion, I'm going to treat myself to directly writing an index.ts in TypeScript. So we do a git commit -am initial boilerplate. Duh, I thought that was what -am was for. Fine, I should do this without the CLI. All of that looks good. Initial commit. We'll push this. Close my other one. Alrighty, so we have got a project that does nothing at the moment. We're going to need a script. We'll have a start script, which will be node index.ts. Requires modern node, but you can do that. And whoops, both of these should have been source/. We'll go back and force push that again, and then ESLint's complaining, I guess. Hang on, what's this relay stuff? Right. That's not a problem I want to solve right now, so let's write some NativeScript. I'm going to start off with a example. This is the right one, right? Oh, I think I installed... Oh yeah, this is the right one. Okay, we'll go into the examples and do an AppKit example. And just import this thing. Import. Okay. And you'll see we get a bunch of typings along with that. All of foundation and all the good stuff. We've got AppKit and friends. Should all be good. Okie dokie. So, at the moment, we have the ability to write all sorts of fun stuff like ns string if. Yep. So, that's like a good 1 or 2 seconds of TypeScript slowly waking up. In fact, we might as well try out the new TypeScript Go. That might be fun. TypeScript Go. How do we do that? VS Code settings. Okay. Yes, please. Yeah. Bun add -d TypeScript as preview. And then we want to bun remove TypeScript. So I'm just guessing that's the way you go about it, and then you might as well restart the TS language server. Okay, now we'll try writing ns string and see if it's any faster. No, that was just as slow. So is it really doing what we're expecting it to do? That's how I would use TSC, but we're not going to use TSC. Got any examples in here? Let's see in our output, see if got TypeScript. Well, we've got TypeScript there, but is that classic TypeScript or fun new TypeScript? It's using Visual Studio Code TypeScript, as far as I can see. Start TS server. Yeah, it's not using it in the language server. So I don't actually know if I don't know if I'm using new TypeScript or not. I don't think I am. Okay, TypeScript Go experimental extension. Let's try get that extension. Go. Tricky. Native preview. Oh. Yes, please. Yes, I think that's what they want. Okay. Hopefully this goes a bit faster. TS. Reload. Reload. Refresh. It's gone completely. I think we're gonna window. Reload window and see how this goes. I see TS go. That's cool. NS not very fast. Seems about the same as before. But let's check our output and see if we've got yes, native preview, and then see if that's a good sign. There's no TypeScript, but there is a native preview. Okay, cool. So far, so good. Right, it doesn't. So that initial, like looking for NS string, didn't seem much faster, but it's clearly doing stuff. So it's clearly using the new. Yeah. Using the new extension, new native TypeScript. So, native TypeScript meet NativeScript. Let's assume I've set that up correctly, then get on to an AppKit example. So we can just grab all of this. There'll be a bunch of typing errors, I expect, because this is originally written in JavaScript. And we could actually move that into TypeScript land. Implement NS application delegates. Okay, prettier, clearly working. Grab that. Implement NS window delegate. Okay. That is notification. The window is a one of those, okay. It's not being very strict on the type checking at all, which is a bit worrying. Init is no need to say it's an override. Okay. Righty. That's an NS notification. Distinct lack of type errors, which I feel is a bad sign. It's catching up. There we go. Very strange. I would have expected that far more quickly, but I've never used TS Go before, so I don't know what really to expect. Okay, so some of this stuff. A lot of this stuff is not a real surprise to me. I'm just going to reduce this to a much simpler example. But you know what, we can try running it as is and find out how this thing fares. So we'll do a bun start or bun run start. Let's try bun start. Yep, it's doing something. That's good. Okay, now whether it's looking for a file that I didn't provide, I don't know. But we have bring up, which is encouraging. Okie dokie. So That's a good start. Try out tsgo. We'll do a try example app. Okey-dokey. So I don't really want to use all of this stuff directly like this. Let's reduce this down to simplest possible app. Maybe there's just a more basic example like class or view controller. That's much nicer. Yep. But it's probably good to have NS application delegate around. Okay. What's all this window stuff anyway? So that we're going to retain a window later. This window extends the NS window, and when it's initialized... Oh, mid-menu item. Let's have a look at that in just a moment. Anything up here? I don't see anything. Guess not. Okay. So some of this stuff is like dynamically adding method stuff. So this is not really the most semantic example. We do want to set the NS app delegate to be... Okay, I think we do want that activation policy. Why is that red? Okay. I don't think I need any of this window. Unless I want to make a window indeed. So where is that new window usage? Or window.alloc, window.new. Who's making this window? Probably all that stuff I deleted just then. So what this originally did was that it would add an application did finish launching method dynamically at runtime to application delegate. But we could actually make that directly on application delegate, which would be a lot more semantic. Obviously, like, that's how you would normally do it, but the example was showing our ability to edit classes at runtime. And what they do is they lazy init a window, and then they activate it whilst ignoring all other apps. That's fine. And then they use a loop. Now, how much of this is like the normal way you would write an app versus just poking at features for the sake of it? I don't know. So I've played with this before, and I just need to find an example that I get on with a bit better. So maybe metal graphics. Let's render a bunch of stuff, but what about this event loop? Okay, so you could do all that stuff down there. Let's take that boilerplate. Delegate application. Let's grab all this. And nsapp.run is one way to do it. NS application main is another way of doing the same thing. I think we're basically doing the same stuff there. You know what? Let's do that. Okay. So all this stuff about an event loop we need? Window. What are you doing with your window? That looks a lot simpler. Let's not have a custom window. What's your problem here? Okay. Let's have all of this stuff. Did finish launching, is it? Yep. Shove that in there. Wow, okay. So TSGo is... the language server for TSGo is rather slow, but that could very much be NativeScript's fault. It is a massive set of typings. If we go back to old TypeScript, we'll see if it runs any better. So reload window. And we'll see output. I see a TypeScript, whereas native preview is... if I clear all that. If I write stuff, it doesn't react. Yeah, okay, so it's... I think it's not using TSGo anymore. It's using good old TypeScript. In which case we probably bun remove and bun and SD TypeScript. Okay. It's on TS server. Okie dokie. So he had a view controller. View controller. He also had a renderer. But I don't want to go as far as putting a renderer together. I just want a view controller to play around with. So get rid of that. Okay. Should have a blank window of some kind. Cool. That's nice. Interesting, our window title's not showing up. I wonder what the deal with that is. Got your app menu stuff, have you? You've got a quit item. Okay. Okay. drop tsgo or bare bones example app. Okie dokie. So the aim was eventually to get to a web renderer, for which we're going to need basically some parsed. We're going to need some DOM APIs, but we're also going to need those DOM APIs to map onto AppKit things. So the first thing I want to do is get a, let's see if we can just get a text view in here, because the thing you should really solve in any web renderer is solve inline text. So the idea that you can put images in line with the flow of text and let it wrap around freely, because it's no good patting yourself on the back the moment you get block layout working, flex layout or something, because that's only half the battle. In fact, like, you really need to be thinking about inlining items before everything else. But just to see something on screen, I do want to get a UI text view up, and then once we've had that sort of sanity check, I want to get all the things that make a UI text view do what it does, like the text storage and the layout and that sort of thing, and have all that under our control, so we can do more advanced stuff with it, more conducive to doing like DOM level manipulation, so that every block in our app would be a UI text view, or if there's no text inside it, then we go for something a bit cheaper than UI text view. I keep saying UI text view, I mean something along the lines of UI text view, but not literally that. Okay, but anyway, so let's bring our view controller back, and we can do view did load this.view equals, and we're going to have a UI. You know what? No, we've got a view controller just fine, so we don't need any of that. But what we do need is to put some stuff inside it. Dot view dot add subview. We're going to do a UI text view dot new and just see what happens. It's not UI text view, it's NS text view in AppKit. NS text view is definitely assignable to NS view. Unfortunately, yeah, we've got a bunch of TS ignores here, so anything could be going on. As NS view. Ugh. So it's complaining about the copy type. Okay, well, let's just see what happens. Don't see any UI text view in there, that's annoying. So I think this is supposed to lazy init on first call anyway, but just in case, let's assign to it. I really thought it would start up a lot faster. Okay, it did not like that. Okay. I suppose we need to do something along the lines of const text view equals ns text view dot alloc in, no, init with frame rect. We'll do a cg rect in which, hang on, cg rect make. This is way too slow. We shall have no, and then width can be 200, height can be 200, why not? We shall add this. Come on, that's as ns view. That feels real wrong. Okay. Cool! Hey! How awesome is that? We now have a view on screen. And it has laid out to 0 by 0, and in the coordinate system of AppKit, 0 is in the bottom left, not the top left. So, what we can do is set the height to... So we could set a height here, or we could set some constraints on this thing. How do you do that again? Text view dot constraints. Okay, cool. Dot anything. There's a lot of stuff in here. There's a lot of stuff. Okay. NS layout constraint dot. Anything good in here? We could do visual format, that'd be hilarious. This 30-year-old layout description language. Is there an there's activate constraints, okay, cool. And we pass in NS layout. Ugh. I'm just gonna look up auto resizing mask, full width, full height. Just give me an example of that. Okay, can we do a text view dot, what was that? Nope. That is text view dot auto resizing mask dot equals, what does it want, a number? Height sizable. Something like, oh no, is it flexible? Right, height sizable and width sizable. Let's do it the other way around. Okay, we've got a bit of that. We start and see what happens and see if we have to do that. Translates thingy into, is it false? I can't remember. True then. Dang. So in Objective C, which is really one that matters, it would be text view dot set auto resizing mask to flexible width, flexible height. Which, oh come on, we're actually doing this already. This is just this is the setter rather than the accessor, or however you want to call it. So that's clearly not the right way to do it. So by it defaults true. So false is a more interesting one, which we've already tried. So why isn't this filling a full screen? Oh, what we could do is just see if DJ has written one of these before. A few options. But that's with stacks, which are their own kind of different thing. Nope, that's no good. Okay, so actually no examples here. I'm just going to look it up all on GitHub. Resizing mask. Search all on GitHub. See if we can find any examples. There's a few. 1.9 million. Okay. Let me look up width sizable. see how they translate these between Objective-C and Swift. Oh, cool, Tarai. Yeah, want something like that. Width, height, sizable, yes. View, height, sizable. Cool. Because what Tarai will be doing right here, in this very file, is making a web view fill the full view of its, the full size of its container. So we want that. It's quite funny. The best example code I can find for this Objective-C API to use in my JavaScript usage of it is this Rust code. So let's look up auto resizing mask. So they never set that to false as far as I can see, and width sizable, height sizable should do the trick. Is it just for the parent view also needs the same? Let's give that a go. Maybe. Okay. Nope. Didn't have much hope for that. Okay. I'm just shooting the dark here, to be fair. Okay, fine. Let us ask the ChatGPT. Make my text view fill the size of its parent. Writing in NativeScript for macOS. Just think of it as AppKit. Right. TypeScript instead of Objective-C. Find that hard to read, but okay, yeah, fine. They're doing activate constraints, which is the original thing I was going for. It's a heck of a lot more wordy, which is what I was trying to do. The other one, I guess the other one's called. I'm not sure. I can't remember which one's the auto layout. Whether the that thing we were using before. Whether auto resizing mask is part of auto layout or specifically is the thing that came before it. Okie dokie. Yeah, great. Woo! Okay. So that's better than nothing. It's now full screen. Clearly we're going straight under the title bar, so we'll have to change the constraints a bit, but cool. We've got a view on screen. It's written entirely in TypeScript with no build step, and it's an AppKit. It's fully native, and it starts like sub-second, faster than Google Chrome, but obviously doing a lot less. The window title's still not displaying, is it? Oh well. But I think 1 hour, that's good enough for me. Filling for window, not winnow. Yay. But yeah, I think it's about time for bed. So thank you for coming along, and I hope you found NativeScript macOS interesting.